The courtroom was dead silent. Not the kind of quiet that feels peaceful, but the kind that makes your chest tight, like something big is about to happen. Cameras were locked in. Reporters leaned forward. And right there, sitting at the center of it all, was Jay-Z. A man who built an empire from nothing. A man who turned pain into power. But in this moment, none of that mattered. Because across the room sat someone who didn't care about the money, the fame, or the legacy. He just wanted one thing: the truth. And when the judge finally opened that file, everything changed. No one expected it to go this far. For years, this story lived in the shadows. Rumors, interviews, small headlines that people scrolled past without thinking twice. Most people didn't take it seriously. Because when you hear that a regular guy is claiming to be the son of one of the most powerful figures in music, your first instinct is doubt. That's exactly what happened to Rymir. For over a decade, he had been saying the same thing. Calmly, consistently, without switching his story. Jay-Z is my father. But nobody listened. Not the media, not the courts, not even the fans who usually dig into every celebrity detail. To them, it sounded like another attempt at clout, another person trying to attach themselves to a billionaire. But Rymir wasn't asking for money. He wasn't chasing fame. He kept repeating one simple request: a DNA test. That's it. No lawsuits for millions, no interviews filled with anger, just a quiet, steady push for the truth. But here's where it gets complicated. Every time the case moved forward, something blocked it. Legal technicalities, delays, dismissals. It was like the system kept shutting the door right before it could open. And over time, people started to forget.
Except Rymir didn't. He kept going, even when it cost him time, money, and peace of mind. Even when people called him a liar. Even when it felt like he was fighting something much bigger than himself. And then, after years of silence, something shifted. The case resurfaced. This time, it didn't disappear. This time, it reached the courtroom. And that's when everything changed. The day of the hearing didn't feel like a normal court case. There was tension in the air. Not just legal tension, emotional tension. The kind you can feel without anyone saying a word. Jay-Z walked in calm, controlled, the same way he always does. Every movement calculated, every expression guarded. He had faced pressure before. Business deals, public criticism, industry battles. But this was different. Because this wasn't about contracts or music. This was about something personal. Something that couldn't be managed with a press release. Across the room, Rymir sat quietly. No dramatic entrance, no performance, just stillness. But if you looked closely, you could see it in his eyes. Years of waiting. Years of questions. Years of being ignored. And now, finally, answers were within reach. The judge entered, papers in hand. The room froze. No whispers, no movement, just silence. And then, the file was opened. Time felt like it slowed down.
every second stretched longer than it should. People held their breath without realizing it. Jay-Z's jaw tightened slightly. Not enough for most people to notice, but enough to show something was off. The DNA results confirm a pause. A heavy, suffocating pause. A biological match. For a second, nobody reacted. It didn't feel real. Like the room itself needed time to process what had just been said. Then, everything shifted. Jay-Z's face changed. Not dramatically at first, just a flicker. A crack in the control he had held onto for so long. His eyes dropped. His hands tightened. And then, it happened. He slammed his hand on the table. Hard. The sound echoed through the courtroom. Gasps filled the air. His composure? Gone. What nobody expected was. This wasn't the calm, untouchable Jay-Z people were used to seeing. This was raw, unfiltered, real. His voice came out sharp, frustrated, almost shaking. His lawyers immediately stepped in, trying to calm him down, whispering, reaching, trying to pull him back into control. But it was too late. The cameras had already caught everything. Every expression, every movement, every crack in the image. And across from him, Rainier didn't move. Not a smile, not a reaction. Just a quiet stare. Because for him, this wasn't a victory. It was confirmation. Confirmation of years spent being doubted. Years spent being dismissed. And now, the truth was sitting right in front of everyone. But here's the part that hit the hardest. It didn't fix anything. The judge continued speaking. Legal terms, next steps, formalities. But nobody was really listening anymore. Because the moment had already happened. The truth was out. Jay-Z leaned back in his chair, his face tense, his breathing heavier than before. He looked like a man trying to